Hello guys, my name is Wesley Jones. In an absence of my other group members, I have decided to go solo, and within going solo, I have decided to become the director of marketing for my particular nonprofit organization. My organization, as you can see, is the Organization for Animal Wellness. And within the Organizational for Animal Wellness, this here is our mission or our purpose. Together, our organization is for the mercy of animals. We want people to acknowledge that animals used as a food source deserve not to suffer during their life. Although we're utilizing animals to our benefit, they deserve better quality out of their lives than the sole purpose of what they're being used for, which they are being used for, which is a food source. Basically, this was my individual proposal. What I will be doing is I will be using posters and flyers, leaflet brochures, fundraising events, and television commercial, which show the shock value of what animals are being used for. As a director of marketing, I plan to begin our campaign through posters and television commercials, basically showing how animals as a sole source of food puts them in a terrible place. Now, not only would it benefit them for us to continue or not to continue in this manner, but also how it would benefit us and our health and well-being. With this, I will work closely with the treasurer of my organization and making marketing materials to be used during fundraiser events in order to get the word out to our target audience, which ranges from young adults age 18 to the more mature 30s, 40s, 50s, etc., etc. During these functions, we will use leaflet strategies, handing out pamphlets with educational information highlighting our main points while showing how much of a difference that it will indeed make on the overall quality of life of animals, as well the food source that we utilize them for. So within my marketing campaign, this here is the flyer that I put together for our organization. As you can see, it basically says volunteers are needed. These are flyers that I would go around the neighborhood or the local area, place up on telephone poles, on communication boards, outside of stores like your Safeways and your Fred Meyers and things of that nature. Um, Down on the bottom, as you can see, we have our business telephone number, our business name. We basically have a synopsis or a snapshot description, basically of what it is that we do, which you can see, providing farm animals with a better quality of life. Take a number, visit our website, basically join our team in order to make a difference. Which I have a copy of our website. Um, Sitting here at the www.animalwellnessorg.net. Next up, within our marketing campaign is actually our leaflet brochures. And basically what this leaflet brochure is it's a trifold brochure that basically, once again, it tells everything that we do. It tells you exactly what our mission is, what we're about, and contact numbers for individuals to contact us, with any type of, questions or concerns that they have, ways they can volunteer, ways they can donate money to help our benefit, and getting our word out about what our campaign is all about. Here's a copy of the fundraising flyer that I also put together. Basically, first annual petting zoo fundraiser. I thought to myself, what better way is there to get the word out on, how we feel about animals and how they're being mistreated, than to actually, have some of these animals, out there for people to see. You have animals who are being slaughtered in slaughterhouses every day. For what purpose? Sometimes half the meat and whatnot that we're slaughtering, horses and cows for, we're not even using them. You slaughter horses for glue or whatever the case may be, and it's like this is what these animals were born and raised and bred for. To be killed, to be used for items like this. So I decided to come up with a fundraiser, basically, for kids and adults, the same, to have them come out and look at some of these animals, pet them, just basically show them, animals can be used for more than just a food source. We use it for, for other reasons too. And not only just because that, they can be used for other things than a food source, but, just to kind of highlight, there's better ways to take care of these animals than what you see on some of these commercials where you see the chickens, um, just like living in their own filth, or just like thrown in a box and just, cramped up in one space for no reason. Being tortured and being, prodded and electroshocked and all that, that terrible stuff, those terrible things. So, we could take care of these animals, build like, farmlands for these animals, give them space to run, give them ample room where they can actually grow and live a good life. I'm not saying that, it's wrong to slaughter them. I'm just saying, in order to raise healthy food, you know, you should know that your animal is being raised well. Not just stuck up in some cramped space and being taken advantage of. So this petting zoo would kind of, get the children out there, see what the animals are about, feed them, pet them, and all that good thing, all that good stuff. In closing, of course, my overall purpose is to show the world firsthand how and why our organization is so important and exactly what it is that we do. No lies, no tricks, no gimmicks. Just straight up, what it is that we put out there. We are an organization of heart and integrity that believes that in order for us as people to have a better quality of life, it starts with what we introduce to our bodies, which is our food source. We're not by any means promoting vegetarianism, just a change of the obvious in the care of our animal food source. Like I said a few slides ago, it's not just about showing people, that animal meat is bad. Don't go running off saying, well, the campaign said this, or, they said that, I should become a vegetarian, I shouldn't eat animal products. That's not what we're saying. All we're saying is that in order for us to live healthy lives, we have to start looking at the food that we're putting in our bodies. You know, if I knew that a cow or a horse or, a chicken was stored, not stored, I'm sorry, but was raised in their own filth, you had 50 chickens in one box, and they bred them for whatever reason. I don't want to know that food went into my body. I want to go on a farm. I want to see chickens running around on 50 acres of land. Or I want to see horses, out the pasture, comfortable, spreading their legs, cows grazing, things of that nature. So that's basically what our organization is about. Just knowing pretty much that the animals that we're raising to eat, are actually raised the correct way, the healthy way, just like a normal human being would be. Born, raised, um, cared for, all that good stuff. So that's basically what our message here is to the outside population. Just basically saying, hey, look, this is what we're about. This is what we're trying to do. We want you to join our cause and help to make sure that these animals are actually being cared for. In addition to that, one thing that I didn't explain is that we are actually going to be looking at building structures and whatnot, like it shows here in our leaflet brochure. You know, raising money to actually help farm owners, or these individuals to build better shelters for these animals. You do have some farms out there who are struggling. Sometimes they just can't help it. They try to give out what they have. So our organization also does that. We raise money to give to these farmers, to help them build these structures, these better barns and these better chicken coops and things of that nature. We volunteer our time to go out there and help them build these things. So that's basically what our campaign is all about. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my video. That concludes my marketing campaign on the Organization for Animal Wellness. Thank you.